It's another Listen-able bonus. Bonus-ode. Just getting a couple of extra bonus-odes in there off our new opener. Hello, Dylan. Can I just quickly talk about something? Why have you got such an unflattering photo of your partner as the wallpaper?
Because she's been overseas. Let me show you. I'll show you the camera.
Okay.
It looks like we're on FaceTime.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
See? Hi, Shanti.
So we're showing the socials.
She probably won't like that. She doesn't even know. I just screen go to when she's away. So whenever I look at my phone, it's like there's a FaceTime. Look.
Oh, that's cute. Good reasoning.
See? It's pretty funny, isn't it?
That is cute. Yeah.
Everyone goes, what's going on with that? It's like we're on a FaceTime.
Oh, she would love that as well.
Because I missed to make sure that makes the edit. Thanks, everyone.
That
Love
does
you,
make the edit. Hello, everyone. Angus O'Loughlin here. Dylan Alcott there. I'm wearing a Listen-able shirt. You can get them. Hit the fromyourpocket.com website and click merch to get your accessible t-shirt today.
Made by?
Jam the label.
They're actually doing really cool stuff.
Really cool stuff.
I am a Nike man through and through, but very impressed with the stuff they're doing. I've got to say that.
We love them. Thanks very much to the beautiful women for helping us collaborate on this shirt. Let's talk about Hannah Diviney. We love Hannah. Only go back a few episodes from the release of this bonus-ode to check out our chat with her. But she's done an article for ABC Everyday, of course. You can read the whole article because we'll paraphrase it for the most part. It's just below in the show notes. But the headline is Being an Ally to People with Disabilities. Now, I handle our socials, our Facebook and our Instagram. I reply to every single DM that we get, probably 10 a day. Reply to them personally, and I would say a lot of them come from a lot of the questions that we get asked are more from able-bodied people wanting to know questions, not necessarily bowl of uncomfortable questions. Just, hey, could you please talk about this? And the question that we actually got recently, so it tied in very well, was from a girl called Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. Thanks for your message. She said, hey, I'm new to this podcast and I want to be more of an ally, but I don't know where to start. And so Hannah's sort of given us some little dot points, and then I thought after the dot points we could talk about what it means for me. What am I doing right? What could I do more?
Like it.
Let's go from Hannah's point of understand that my experience as a disabled woman are just that, mine. So I guess what's that? Not just broadening that into the same, she's in a chair like you, so it's not the same experience?
I think there's two ways that she's talking about it there. This is my words, not Hannah's. One is that don't ask the people around you for advice, ask the person. So if you're on the street, don't go to the person, are they going to be okay? It's like, hey, these are my experiences. Let me talk for myself. But also, which is the word lived experience is an interesting one. And I used to get this wrong. I would say my brother has lived experience in disability. I'd say you have lived experience in disability, but you actually don't.
No.
But you have lived experience of a best friend of someone with disability. Mm-hmm. And they might have valuable things, but it doesn't overtake what the person experience with disability themselves has. Yep. And that's what she's saying there. Yes, you might be a carer, friend, a mum of someone who's disabled, but it's not you yourself. So make sure that the voice of the person is heard if they so can voice themselves.
If your child asks questions when they see us, don't shush them. Very poignant for me. I've got a 2-year-old daughter who's very vocal at the moment.
You know why this one though?
Of course. It's about putting the fear into that child of that somebody with a disability is scary, different, or it's like pulling the kid away gives that reaction of something is wrong, and therefore they might have that fear or apprehension in starting a dialogue with a child of the same age in recess in primary school with the disability because of that moment where they remember their parent having that knee-jerk reaction, and that's kind of imprinted on the kid because they, more than ever, have been a dad. These kids are sponges, and they take every little. So for one, I was stretching for a run the other day on a Sunday morning, and then Emily goes, "Look behind you," and there's my daughter, hands on her hips, doing a leg lunge, just like me, copying my body movements.
Love that. Nice subtle flex that you've been running a bit lately.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate.
You've been going good. It cements the negative stigma. If you tell your kids it's negative, they think it's negative. So rather than just say not what to do, what you should do is this. Go, if your little kid goes, oh my God, mum or dad, what's that? You should say, well, that's a person. I don't know what their disability is. Why don't you go up and ask their name and see if they're comfortable talking about it?
Yeah.
And the person with disability might be like, piss off. And then you're like, fair enough. Or they might be like, hello. I'm Dylan. I'm in a wheelchair because I'm lazy, is my joke. But I'm like, no, I can't use my legs like you. And then you explain it.
Yeah. If you want an example of what not to do, this exact circumstance, Deborah Keenahan, very recent episode. She's a dwarf and she had a shocking experience in the line at a bank, I think. So go back and listen to that episode and how she dealt with a parent who definitely didn't handle the situation the right way. Hannah Diviney says, my body and the equipment I use are not yours to touch. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it is, especially around prosthetics and wheelchairs and all kind. guide dogs and assistance dogs.
That's a really great example.
You know what I mean?
Everyone wants to pat a guide dog.
Everybody thinks you can be like, oh, can I have a look? That's pretty cool. It's like, well, hang on. This is my body, my legs, my independence, my movement. Again,
Or for a dog, my sight.
yeah, sight. So, and especially for people blind or low vision, do not walk. We've learned this a few times in the podcast. Don't walk up and grab someone on the arm and go, do you need help? Close your eyes right now if you're listening and imagining a stranger just coming and grabbing you. That's scary. You know what I mean? So it's all about permission, like anything. You don't touch anybody, but it's people. And one that I often get is people always push my wheelchair to help me up a hill, like assuming they're doing the right thing. I want to get my steps up at the moment, so I want to push. You know what I mean? Just like anybody else. Some people might need a hand. Some people don't. Don't assume. Always ask first.
Her next point was be aware of the language you are using, which is by far, with this podcast, which makes sense because for the most part it's usually an audio medium, my language is definitely something that I'm so fearful of. On a recent episode even, we had Chloe Hayden on, and I did ask her at the very start, like, how do you define your autism? And she says, is autistic. And then you can see there's a moment in the podcast we make a joke about it. I'm like, who is him? Is, or because I didn't want to muck it up, right? I know some people are, person first or disability first, and I'm like, in my head, you should have seen you could have heard the cogs going, well, how do I string this into a sentence while still being accurate with the language she prefers? It is difficult, but as an ally for disability, it's hard because I asked the question and then I don't even know if I got it wrong. Like
maybe you're allowed to get things wrong, man. Some people might call you out of it.
Is it
but it's
intention?
Okay. No,
does that come into a little bit?
It's if you don't want to do the work and realize why you are wrong,
right,
and keep saying it. So if you use the R word or my two nicknames, which was cripple and spastic at school, and my mates will say, mate, I was spastic last night. And I go, can't say that.
Yeah.
And they go, why not? And then I explain it. If they then go, no, I'm going to keep saying it, well, then you're a wanker.
Gotcha.
Right?
New friends.
Can I say there's more and more ableism things getting said, like somebody will say, like, oh, I'm so OCD, or oh, I'm ADHD, or I bet that person's on the spectrum.
That's a big one.
Big one, right? Yeah. Don't throw out the fact that you might be ADHD unless you're ADHD. Don't use it as some kind of thing, first and foremost. But especially go, that person's a bit weird. They're probably on the spectrum. You got to cut that out. And you know what? Even if they are on the spectrum, who cares? Good on them. It's not a bad thing.
Yep.
But you're saying it like it's a negative aspect to them, which is something we want to eliminate.
And a tough one because it is environmental. Are you creating an accessibility problem? We are lucky that where we are recording today, we have for the most part quite an accessible area, and it was designed around accessibility. But we have had experiences and stories on this podcast before about older heritage buildings that don't allow because we can't change something that's 7 years old to include a wheelchair ramp. How do you as a friend or an ally of somebody with disability, how do you stop an accessibility problem? Like inviting someone to your house and your mum and dad's house has got 2 big front stairs.
Ask them before it happens. So ask the question of what they might need, and it's the best way to do it. If accessibility is done at the start or whatever, it's easier, quicker and cheaper than retrofitting afterwards, especially for builders and all that. But like if you're worried that I'm going to come to your house, you got 2 stairs, just call me, mate, I'm freaking out about got 2 stairs. And I'm like, don't worry, we'll figure it out. Some other people might not be able to figure it out. So you just change your plans or whatever it is. Can I add 2 more points?
Yes.
Number 6, it's okay to get it wrong. Don't worry about it. It's all about learning. They're learning opportunities right now if you stuff it up. Don't worry about it. As long as you do better next time. And number 7, these all sounded a bit scary. It's not as hard as you think to be an ally, right? And it's literally just about being inquisitive, asking questions and genuinely caring. That's the best way to be an ally. There's not a checklist or whatever it is. It's just about being a good person first and foremost. And we need allies, so don't get scared off because you think you might stuff it up. Come on board and we'll work on it together.
Thanks very much for listening to this bonus. So thank you very much to our good friend. She's a friend of ours.
Good on you,
Hannah
Hannah,
Diviny.
you weapon.
The full article is below in our show notes. Also where you can do a lot of things. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. Check out our YouTube where this episode that you might be hearing is online and fully captioned.
And keep Angus accountable. He's running, whatever week it is this year, he's running that amount of kilometres. So
I am.
Week 9, 9Ks. Week 52, 52 kilometres.
Yep.
So check him out, keep him accountable. He's doing well so far.
Angus_OL. Follow the running journey.